Destiny 2 has a rich history of secrets in the game, and this season of the Seraph, well, that's been no different with the introduction of Operation Seraph Shield. That is an exotic mission where we go to space, work our way through the Seraph Space Station, and get our hands on the exotic pulse rifle, the Revision 0. Well, today I want to have a look at one of the features of Destiny 2 that makes it magic for me, and also many other people, and that is the secrets the game hides and wants you to find. Secrets can range from hidden items that you have to find through a series of clues or huge, expansive exotic missions, where one day we find a random portal on a planet or a moon and get sent into a rock-solid timed mission with an exotic prize at the end. Secrets, large and small, have been in Destiny 2 since the game released, and they are one of the unique facets of the game that make Destiny 2 so special. Well, without further delay, let's have a look back at some of the best secrets we've had in Destiny 2. Well, first up, I want to talk about the Whisper mission. So this was originally released during the Warmind expansion, and we had to kill a certain taken enemy on Io, and this enemy would only spawn very occasionally, maybe once or twice per hour. Upon killing this enemy, a portal would appear on Io, and when we went through the portal, a timer would start counting down from 20 minutes. We'd then have to traverse through a dark and deadly location, taking on a series of jumping puzzles, and navigating this claustrophobic space, which would culminate in a battle against the Taken and some bosses from Destiny's past. Now, if you beat the mission in under 20 minutes, we get the exotic sniper rifle, Whisper of the Worm, as a prize, and that was a reprised weapon from the original Destiny. So this is my go-to secret when someone talks about the secrets in Destiny 2. I remember I was watching T-Rex at the time, a world's first King's Fall raider, who had gone to be a developer at Bungie. I remember the excitement of discovering the portal, the strangeness of the environment, and the difficulty of the challenge. There was even a section in the Whisper mission that looked like you could see through to the Vault of Glass through a portal. The Vault of Glass was the original raid in Destiny itself, full of secrets and mystery, and in there was a mystery portal, and now we were standing on the other side of the portal, looking back into the Vault of Glass. Next up we got Niobe Labs. This was released during Season of the Forge. Actually, at the time, I was taking a break from Destiny, and this was the first time they were introduced properly to the Black Armory. Niobe Labs was a bunker where you could find various symbols, you needed certain weapons to complete the task, and you had to make your way through 7 waves of enemies. You had to perform specific actions related to the symbols at the start of a wave, and if you made a mistake, you had to start all over again. It all led to the opening of the Burgusia Forge, which Bungie had to open then for everybody, given the nature of the puzzle and the progress within the community. So while it was a good iteration, I think many in the Destiny community felt Niobe Labs didn't quite hit the mark, but it was a sign of other puzzles to come. Well, next up we got many people's favourite, and this is the 0 Hour mission. 0 Hour was the next exotic time mission, similar to the Whisper mission, and this time we got the Outbreak Perfected, another returning exotic weapon from the original Destiny, but a coveted exotic pulse rifle nonetheless. To get access to this mission, you had to get your hands on the Fallen Transponder, and then you had to collect 6 nodes. We met Mithrax, the Forsaken, and he asked us to take care of some Fallen in the Old Tower. This was another timed mission, and another tough one too, with only 20 minutes to complete the whole thing. So we got to revisit parts of the Old Tower, the shared social space from Destiny 1, and battled through tough fights with the Fallen. We had Mithrax and Eramis. They were involved, and they would actually return later in Destiny 2 in Beyond Light to help continue the story of the Fallen. Well, next up we've got my second favourite secret in the history of Destiny, and this one is the Corridors of Time. The Corridors of Time was one of the most complex and elaborate community puzzles that we've seen in Destiny 2. So during Season of the Dawn, we'd work with Osiris to open up the Corridors of Time, and we'd eventually save the legendary Titan, Saint 14. So once we'd saved Saint 14, we could freely explore the Corridors of Time and see what other secrets they held. Well, the Corridors of Time were like a honeycomb structure. You would enter an area shaped like a hexagon, and then you would take one of the 6 paths out of the room. Take the right path through the entire area, and eventually you would end up at a location with a few question marks prompting you. You could look down, and you could see a pattern through a glass floor. Well, you took a picture of this pattern, and then the community aggregated all of this data into huge spreadsheets, forming a new, huge map out of the individual Guardian hexagons. This was a massive community effort with all players getting together. You had raid secrets, streamers, players, guardians from all over the planet been working together and aggregating data, slowly putting together this massive community map. And eventually, the final map was put together. This huge new map revealed a 30-symbol code which had to be input into the corridors of time perfectly when you read it from left to right. And this all led us to finding out that at that final location there was a grave site in this timeline, and Saint 14 was given a speech saying how we were his mentor and we were buried with our favourite weapon. And yes, we found our own grave in the future. Well, this led to the discovery of Bastion, the exotic fusion rifle, and although fans were convinced at the time this would lead to an exotic sword, ultimately they were disappointed by the fusion rifle, even though it would go on to become an absolute beast in PvP. Now, for me, this is only second to the Whisper mission, and is one of the best collective experiences I can remember within the Destiny community, led by the Raid Secrets crew, and that is a fantastic subreddit. If you don't know about Raid Secrets, definitely go over to Reddit and search up Raid Secrets. Really, really fantastic bunch of people. So this was fascinating to watch and also take part in, plus the corridors of time and the lore element, really, really unique when looking back at the secrets of Destiny 2. Well, next up for the secrets, we've got the Presage mission. So Presage arrived in Season of Chosen, and again, we were introduced through a quirk in some existing content similar to that portal found on Io. So we'd run through the arms dealer strike, which we'd had in the game for years, and all of a sudden a new door opened up with a passage that we'd never seen before. This kicked off a whole bunch of excitement from the community as a new secret was available in the game. Presage was a creepy, horror-like experience in Destiny 2, which is fairly unique for the series. We went aboard a ship in space where Callus, the Cabal Emperor, had been experimenting with various subjects. It mixed horror gameplay with big set-piece battles, plus the lore was excellent as well with the discovery of the Crown of Sorrows after weeks of running through the mission. As a reward, we got the Dead Man's Tail, an exotic scout rifle from the Tex Mechanica Foundry, which again would go on to become a beast and a nuisance in PvP for years. So this was a new experiment in terms of exotic weapons in the game as well, one with random perks, similar to Hawkmoon, which we'd seen return in the previous season. Ultimately, Presage felt like an experiment that led us to the Derelict Leviathan in Season of the Haunted, and that was of course in mid-2022. So it is a shame that Presage went away with the Witch Queen, given the amount of time and resources that must go into creating a mission like that. Hopefully we're going to see it one day again in Destiny 2. Well, that brings us up to date with Operation Seraph Shield, and I want to go to that one now, and that is the recent one which kicked off my journey delving back into the secrets of Destiny 2. So Operation Seraph Shield is the latest exotic mission that Bungie has put into the game, so their marketing of these things has changed somewhat over the years. These days we've got a heads up from Bungie that these missions are coming. This mission became available during Season of the Seraph and was part of the weekly story where we travel up into space, take on a mission either solo or with a fire team, and it's got similar mechanics to the Deepstone Crypt raid, where you have to get different buffs to interact with terminals in the game, as well as shoot the panels on the wall. The mission itself is a series of rooms where you have to take on enemies, coupled with the big set pieces and some nasty puzzles, including the now infamous microwave room, where you've got to correctly guess the right levers to pull, otherwise you get fried. There's a great moment where you have to surrender and the Fallen take you on board their ship, only for your weapons to be returned to you a moment later, and you fight your way through the ship and then out into space. The first time running through the mission you get access to Revision 0, a new exotic scout rifle, then week after week you run through the mission again to get the upgrades and the catalysts, improving the stats of the scout rifle over time, plus you open up different perks as well. Coupled with the regular mission, there's also secrets to find, which include a decent proportion of the secret robotic nodes you have to shoot with Revision 0. So there's 50 nodes in the game in total, found on Europa, the Moon, Heist Battlegrounds, and also Operation Seraph Shield. So shoot all 50 and you can get access to a secret door about 2/3 of the way through Operation Seraph Shield. Make your way through that secret door and you'll find a portal which will transport you to a jumping puzzle location similar to that Whisper mission, and then you make your way through to the end and you'll find a mechanical dog, which is quite a nice find, although slightly odd when it comes to the lore. Finding 50 nodes in the game, it was a great treasure hunt and another example of Bungie at their very best. Well, there has been some chatter in the Destiny community related to secrets and also the lack of secrets recently in the game prior to Operation Seraph Shield. Players have been wondering where the secret missions are gone, as it felt like a good amount of time had passed since we last saw one. And here is what Bungie had to say on the matter. Well, we want to take a moment to address the community's feedback around secrets in Destiny 2, but before we get started, if you take one thing away from this communication, let it be that people working on Destiny 2 believe that secrets are an important part of the franchise, and we're dedicated to delivering secret experiences, both small and large, throughout the coming year. First and foremost, let us address the Reddit AMA about the difficulty of encrypting content that brought this conversation to a head. Data mining and leaks are not a unique problem to Destiny 2. Every live game deals with this issue because it's one of the most challenging engineering problems in games today. Well, that said, our communication was misinterpreted to mean that we are no longer building secret experiences, which is false. We've delivered hidden and secret story beats and content this year, and will continue to do so next year. For some in the community, secrets have come to mean either a secret mission or a puzzle. It's understandable that the community is hungry for more content, and is interpreting any hidden thing we do as a signpost of something bigger to come. Just understand that we'll never openly reveal a secret mission or a puzzle before it goes live, and that although we're intentionally hiding things for you to discover in every release, not every secret can become something as big as a mission or a puzzle. Looking back at the past year, the Witch Queen was a release containing a fair share of secrets, and experiences on the Throne World were directly influenced by content like secret missions and dungeons. Additionally, as many of you have noticed, we've been layering teases and secrets about future content throughout our stories, lore entries, and also the world building leading up to Lightfall. However, we know that you want more. We know that we haven't released a secret mission that scratches that same itch as Presage, Zero Hour, or The Whisper this year. Those missions were some of the most challenging content for our teams to build, which is why we've only released at most one secret mission within a 12-month period. But as we've developed our plans leading to Lightfall and beyond, I want to reassure you that the community feedback is heard loud and clear, and putting more secrets into Destiny 2 is an initiative our teams have been working on for months before this conversation recently came to a head. Some secrets are going to be small, some are going to be large, some will come next year, and some are right around the corner. But I promise you, we've got a talented group of people who love this type of content, who knows what it means for the community to discover and experience it. Well, I don't know about you, that is really, really exciting there from Bungie. Not everything is going to be as big as a Whisper mission, so I'm really, really looking forward to the future. Well, let me know what you think about the secret of Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the videos on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.